It's super exciting because I've worked hard and for other people to recognize that I'm working hard for not only building my business but also within the community, that's amazing. You don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. That I often have body bags in my car because I am a part-time coroner investigator for Clark County.
I've been doing this a long time, and I will tell you that when I started in media sales years ago in a little radio station in Wichita, Kansas, there were no women sales managers or general managers. It was all men. So what I love is the fact that we are fostering the career growth and mentoring and coaching for women so that they can have a great business experience. My favorite quote comes from Sheryl Sandberg, the author of Lean In, and she says, "Taking initiative is critical. No one was ever recognized as a leader for sitting back and waiting to be told what to do." And I love that. Not many people know that I had a connection to Dayton long before we moved here 20 years ago. When I was a broadcasting student at Arizona State University, Irma Bombeck used to come in because she lived in Phoenix to tape her Good Morning America segments. And I was an intern then at the TV station, and I think I brought her coffee.
Really, I think, is a responsibility almost to be part of the very positive change I think that is happening in Dayton as it reinvents itself both economically and socially after some of the downturns that it's experienced in terms of the economy here. So, I really think that it's an opportunity to network and to learn from other women, but to also form new coalitions to help bring about positive change in the community. Well, my favorite quote to live by is by Herman Hesse, and I actually even used the quote in my 10-year renewing of the vows that we had almost 20 years ago now, and it goes like this. It says, "It is not our purpose to become each other, it's to recognize each other and to learn to see the other and to honor him or her for what he or she is." And for somebody who's really concerned with social justice and diversity, the quote really sums up to me the need to be empathetic and to really take the time to get to know people as individuals and honor them and value their uniqueness. I used to be a pretty avid knitter and would like to get back into that at some point. So that's something that people don't usually associate with me, knitting.
This honor to me means that, one, I think that it just kind of acknowledges and lets me know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, that, I'm doing things in the community, everything that, I've put my time and my effort into is, it's paying off. Favorite quote, happiness is a journey, not a destination. You want to continue to be happy. It's not where you just get there and it's like one day, oh, I'm happy, so I'm happy for the rest of my life. It's something you continuously work at every day. I'm not the best cook, even though I own a restaurant, because I don't do the cooking there, but I'm not a great cook. I won't say I'm horrible, but I'm not the best cook, so.
I think it does recognize the influence that women have in leadership positions in the Miami Valley and beyond, and that if you work hard and focus throughout your career, that people do recognize that, and I think that's very important for future women leaders in our community. As I was thinking about my career, I've been at Dayton Children's for 28 years, and I've had many different positions, but I've always focused on our mission, and I guess I would say, think globally, act locally. We all have opportunities to move around the country if we want. I've made the conscious choice to stay here in Dayton, Ohio, a fourth-generation Daytonian. So I'm very committed to the health care of children in our community. I've been very committed to also learn about what's going on nationally and internationally in my field, in pediatric health care, but really apply that knowledge to the children here in Miami Valley. Our motto at Dayton Children's is, all children in our region deserve a great children's hospital close to home. So I think that goes along with that quote. I don't think there's anything about me that most people don't know. I'm pretty outgoing. I have a lot of friends, and I've known them for a very long time, and I don't think there's any surprises with me.
As I watch the women that have come before me, I think we started this in 2009, and just a great group of women. And the group that I'm in this year, the 2015 25 women, such diversity and talent. So it's a real honor to be in that group. I don't think it's a quote so much as a Bible verse, Romans 8:28. It's always been my favorite verse. For all things work together for good to those who love God, who are the called according to his purpose. And I think in life things happen and you wonder why they happen, but they happen for a reason, and you may not know that today or tomorrow or next year, but eventually you'll realize that it happened for a reason. My husband and I lived in New Jersey for about 8 years, many years ago, and I was in the Mrs. New Jersey pageant.
Well, being nominated by your peers means someone noticed something good about you, so that was always a good thing. And I wasn't knowing what was to expect from it all, but it's been a good ride. The customer's not always right, but the customer needs to be respected. And I always took that as an opportunity also to tell them why they are not getting what they're expecting. It's a time to teach them what they need to know. So I've always lived by that one since I was early 20s. God's given me a good talent and a love for sewing, and I love doing it. But the one thing they don't see when I'm working with my own associates at the time I take and say, don't rush the job. I'm not interested in how fast you can do it, but how accurate you can do it, because that's what my customers expect, is accuracy.
It establishes me in the workplace, in my field, as an authority, and it's just something that it's one of those like landmarks in my career where I've been shooting for something like this and now I've achieved it, so it's really, really special to me. Live each day to the fullest. It's one of those things that I didn't realize until I owned my own business, just how much I get sucked into work versus family, and how powerful time outside of work is too, and making connections and networking. Most people that meet me would not know that I love hard rock music and Harry Potter.
People are paying attention. I'm getting noticed on what's going on and the path I'm taking, so that's kind of a cool feeling. Favorite quote I live by that's pertains now is, a dream is a dream, a goal is a dream with a deadline and a plan. Love that one because I've had lots of dreams, but this is the first one I've actually acted on, and it's come to fruition. I actually went to college to be a fashion designer, and I was going to design bridal and formal wear. So weddings have kind of been in my plans the whole time, and I've just kind of gone about it. Yeah, I was going to be Vera Wang before there was a Vera Wang.
This honor, I think, really reinforces the fact that I think God, our higher power, the universe, has a path or purpose for each of us in life. And this recognition really makes me feel that I'm on the right path, because I think one of the hardest things to do in life is to recognize or find what your purpose really is. One of my favorite quotes comes from a favorite movie of mine, The Shawshank Redemption. And in it, Andy Dufresne says, it is a simple choice to make. You can get busy living or you can get busy dying. So I think it's really about keeping that positive perspective and seeing each challenge in life as really an opportunity for personal growth and development. I try to say, you know, what is the lesson for me in any challenge in life? One thing that a lot of people may not know is a few years ago, I had an opportunity to complete my bucket list trip to trek the Everest Base Camp Trail in Nepal. And it was during my 50th birthday celebration where I got to meet people from all over the world that do amazing things. But during that trip, I really discovered my passion and part of my purpose, I believe, to really help empower and educate the women and children in Nepal.
It's just humbling and it's awkward. I really don't know what to think about it yet, to be honest. It just seems, I feel like very out of place with the other women. A memorable quote in my mind is, get out of bed, don't be lazy, and get to work. People don't know about me that I box at Drake's Gym.
The honor means a lot. More than anything is we really, as an agency, and I put all of my energy into serving women and those of poverty and those that are marginalized and disenfranchised. So to get an honor based on serving that particular cohort is just great. A favorite quote that I live by is actually a scripture, and just to paraphrase it a bit, and it is, inasmuch as those that serve the least of us, then ultimately you serve me. The one thing that people probably don't know about me is that I have a secret passion for history, and I love history and ultimately would love to retire and study it.
Well, by receiving this honor, I hope to set an example for my 3 daughters to inspire them to reach their full potentials. Be the change you wish to see in the world. This reminds me that I have the ability to promote positive change. I think most people know I'm an artist, but what they probably don't know is that I like to do home improvement projects. And so for Christmas one year, I asked for a circular saw because I wanted to do install my own hardwood floors.
This honor means a tremendous amount to me. It helps me to realize that, you know, what I'm doing, it's not in vain. You know, I'm doing this for a reason, whatever it is that I do, and I feel that I'm giving back to the community and it's being recognized, and so I do appreciate it. Well, one of my favorite quotes to live by is, it doesn't matter the storm, like if you weather the storm, but it's how you dance in the rain. Because I've been in a lot of hurricanes, and it matters how you get out of it, and that depends on your reaction to it. You know, you can't just succumb to, you know, this bad thing that may have happened to you. You have to really overcome it and live it and walk through it and believe that it's going to make you stronger on the other side. It's one of my favorites, and it's always come true. One of the things people do not know about me, and it's something that happened to me about 2 years ago, is my trip to Uganda, Africa. And I learned from the women of Africa what courage really means. So what they don't know is that where this comes from in me. Although, you know, I've been who I am all my life, but I think that that trip really strengthened me. And I just learned courage from the women of Africa, and Uganda in particular. And it's just to appreciate the value of your work and not to give it up so easily.
You know, whenever you're recognized by either your peers and organizations, you know, it gives you time to step back and reflect. And it says, you know, so what kinds of things are you doing well? What kind of things could you do better? What kind of impact? And, you know, I guess for me, I've been so fortunate. Sinclair Community College is this kind of amazing institution, and I've gotten to do and work on so many initiatives for the community. I think that around the area of workforce development, that it's just been a really great opportunity for me. So, you know, I think with these things, it's an opportunity to always learn. It's an opportunity to network and get to know other people for the future. So, I mean, it's a big deal. Love what you do and do what you love. You know, I've always worked, and if you spend the number of hours that you do, right, in an office and in a position, you better like it, because that's where you're going to spend a majority of your life. I'm pretty much this what you see is what you get. I'm this open book. But probably what would surprise people is that I'm kind of this, what I'm going to call one of those junkers, like the American Pickers guys. My grandparents were from the South, and big farms, and so if it was old and rotted, and I want it. So I love flea markets and antique stores, and I like to rummage around in that stuff and kind of find that little gem. So.
I felt like my work had been validated because all the work that I had done through WiBN and my business, I felt like that was something great that everybody thought I was good. And I was nominated by a good friend and a customer of mine, which made me feel great. Well, I don't actually have one quote. It is a philosophy that I live by. It's called the 4 Agreements. Number 1, be impeccable with your word. Number 2, don't take anything personally. Number 3, don't make assumptions. And number 4, always do your best. I feel like I'm an open book. I've been with WiBN long enough that I've told everybody about everything, and I don't know that there's anything that they don't know about me.
I think this honor means validation. My husband and I have worked very hard together to make this business grow and be where it is today. And we work every day to be able to have a family and have a business. We have 2 daughters. So I think it's also very good to show our daughters that it is possible to be a mom and to be a businesswoman full-time. My favorite quote is, "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great." I'm actually an opera singer, and although I run a home inspection company, I have a degree in music. So I sing, I play piano, and I play flute, so I'm a pretty good musician too.
It's really nice to be recognized. Like I said, you put your head down, you're busy in your own work, and it's nice to know that people are noticing your value. So it feels good. So some people say attribute it to Buddha, some say it's not Buddhist, but basically it's all that matters in life is how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. So I try to hold on to that. I was once a certified riflery instructor when I taught at a summer camp, which is unusual for me because I'm a total pacifist. But I can shoot like Annie Oakley.
When I first started practicing about 16 years ago, there were several women and women attorneys that I really looked up to and thought, there's no way I'm ever going to reach that status. And I don't pretend that I have now, but receiving this honor makes me think, well, I must be doing something right, and hopefully I'm on track to be one of those women that other people can look up to. About 10 years ago when I joined the firm I'm with now, Chernesky, Hyman & Kress, the managing partner once told me that they always try to do the right thing when making decisions about the firm. It might not be the most profitable thing, might not be the easiest thing, but they always try to do the right thing. So I try to live by that when making decisions in my life and in my practice and with my kids. I love to dance every chance I get, whether it's while I'm cooking, whether it's in the living room with my kids, whether it's in the bathroom drying my hair. I love to dance every chance I get.
It means that I must be doing something right, I guess is the best way to look at it. I work really hard, and it seems like somebody or more than one person recognizes that and appreciates that, and it's nice to be in the same group with all these other women that were also awarded. I don't really have a quote per se, but in my family we have a saying that's basically give it your best or try your best. And I think about that whenever I have a difficult project that I'm about to work on, or if it's something that I don't maybe know the answer to and I might be uncomfortable. I just kind of tell myself, just give it your best, try your hardest, and that's what you can do. And it's the same thing that I tell my son every day when he goes to school or when he tries out for a sport or something like that. Just if you always give it your best, you can at least be proud of what you did. I grew up in Las Vegas, And so I had a job for a short period of time as a cigarette hostess in the Aladdin Hotel and Casino. And I thought it would be a good way to make a lot of money over the summer before I went away to law school. And so my parents were really funny, and they said, "Are you sure you want to do that job?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, I can do it for a summer. I make some good money so I don't have to take out so much in student loans." So I went my first night on the job and walked around, and you've got this big, case that holds all these cigars and cigarettes and this lighted jewelry, and you walk around the floor of the casino saying cigars, cigarettes, lighted jewelry. And after I was, I got propositioned a few times that evening and dealt with some people that were kind of interesting. I went home a little after 1 o'clock in the morning, I think, and my parents were waiting up for me, which was very unusual. And they said, "Well, how did it go?" I said, "That job's not for me. I won't be going back." So I had that job for one day, and so not too many people know about that.
I try so hard to do my best personally and professionally and succeed. And so this honor, in my own way, I guess it means that I'm doing something right. My favorite quote, and I say it every day, is, "With God, all things are possible." I pray daily, and some things have happened in my life that I can only credit to God having done that and made whatever opportunity possible for me. And I end each prayer with God, all things are possible. Even though I have a cooking segment on Living Dayton, I don't cook. My husband does all the cooking. And not because I don't like to cook, because I like to cook, but when I cook, he comes in and the kitchen's a disaster, and he's like, goes crazy because he likes everything clean and perfect, so he just cooks. He doesn't want me cooking, but I do appetizers and desserts. I love to do that for parties and whatnot, so he lets me do that.
Being an attorney in a predominantly male-dominated profession, and granted, women, we've added to our ranks over the past 20 years that I've been a lawyer, but it just means that my peers, my female peers, have recognized me, that I have added things, talents to the profession. I've encouraged younger lawyers in the community, and that just people were that felt that I was deserving of the honor. My favorite quote, well, and this is hard because I have a favorite quote, but I won't say it on camera, but probably the one that I try to live by the most is, "Do unto others as you would have done unto you." I try to live my life so that helping others, because if I was somebody in need, I would want somebody to be there to help me too. Others would never know that I am probably the most die-hard Cleveland sports fan. Anything Cleveland sports related. Browns, Cavs, Indians. I bleed, brown and orange, wine and gold, red and blue. I've cried every single time they've lost championship opportunities. So I would rather watch sports any day of the week, even losing Cleveland sports, over anything else on TV.
It's a great opportunity. I literally just opened my brick and mortar store on August 27. Part of the incentive to do that was I thought I should probably be doing something worth watching. Like today I just got lost in the wrong building. That's not worth watching. So I thought if I probably take the next step and expand, that might be worthy of being watched. I don't live by it, but I love it. It's Wally Lamb, which is accept what people offer, drink their milkshakes, and take their love. Some people pause. I said, it's not about the milkshake. It's not about the milkshake. It's not about the milkshake. It's about everybody brings something different to your life. And sometimes you just don't need to maybe critique it, just take it and accept it. And because we all give love in a different way. I'm a bit of a hunter and a shooter. I trap shoot, I do archery, I hunt. I don't hunt as much anymore since my father passed, but yeah, I like to get out there and mix it up. I tell my husband, I love you, that's why I practice, it won't hurt. I'm a good shot, so yeah, it's kind of a joke in our house. You know, he's like, I just want a head start, just. So yeah, I like to hunt, and people don't expect that, but I enjoy it.
Oh, it's been absolutely incredible, and meeting the other women and hearing their stories and learning how they've impacted the community. It's been amazing, and to be categorized with them, really unbelievable. My favorite quote is attributed to James Dean, and it is, "Dream as if you will live forever, live as if you will die today." And to me, that just means we all need to envision what we want for the future, but at the same time, we have to seize the moment and take those steps now in order to obtain the future. One thing people don't know, I love to dance. I danced with the Celtic Academy of Irish Dance for over a decade, and I was also in a French can-can performance troupe for several years. And now I do aerial dance, which is the aerial silks and aerial hoops that you see frequently in Cirque du Soleil type stuff.
To me, it means I'm making a positive impact, which as an attorney and as a community volunteer, that's really all I'm trying to do, is make a positive difference. And on a personal note, it is really nice to be recognized. So much of what we do on a daily basis goes unnoticed, so to receive an award is really wonderful. You can do anything, but not everything. And I think that applies to probably everyone in the room. We all try to do so much that you have to take a step back every now and again and make sure you're taking care of yourself and doing everything the best you can. Well, I'm a huge sports fan, particularly of the NFL and the Cincinnati Bengals. And if you walk into my office, that's really pretty obvious. But one kind of sports-related thing I like to do, or I'm good at, is ping pong. As ridiculous as that sounds, I'm really good at ping pong, and that's not something that comes up in conversation very often, so nobody really knows that. Otherwise, I'm a pretty open book, so there's really no surprises.